If you get your immune system depressed, even a cold can kill you. When the whole child is made in the first 3 months of pregnancy, and if the mother at that stage doesn't have proper, the child is formed very defective, a small child. We in modern medicine try and keep society unhealthy, unwell, because that's our business. If all of you become well, I have no business at all. I call it as disease mongering. But wellness is a concept that is good for mankind for the simple reason that only less than 1% of mankind today has touch with so-called high-tech modern medicine. Rest of them make do with their local remedies for common ailments. Peruvians in the 16th century believed that God gives a treatment for any disease which He brings on people. Malaria used to be so rampant that millions used to die of malaria in Peru in the 16th century. So the Peruvians went to the forest, saw a beautiful tree which was white, cut the bark, made a decoction, drank it, malaria disappeared. That tree was so beautiful, their viceroy's wife was so beautiful, her name was Cinchona. They called the tree Cinchona tree. And Cinchona bark gave us quinine, quinidine and various other very powerful drugs. Europeans became jealous. If Peruvians could do that, why not we? So they went to their forest and cut another white tree, made a decoction and drank. Fever went, malaria did not go, patients died. That is the willow bark from which we have got a very important drug, aspirin, acetyl salicylic acid. See? So if you follow nature, you get treatment for every disease. Now, wellness is your birthright. Remember that. You are born with an inbuilt immune system to keep you well till you die. It's only in the unlikely event, very unlikely event, if your immune system fails, you may have to supplement it from outside. But this has become more now because we have completely ruined our environment. We put pesticides into the earth, so the food that you get at the end is chemical poison. You give hormones to the chicken that you eat, hormones to the cow to give you more milk for making more money, and eventually you get growth hormone in the milk. And in the United States now, girls' menarche has advanced to 9 years, 8 to 9 years. This is because of the human growth hormone. But out with all this is the largest problem that you and I probably don't know, because we are comfortable, we get our 3 meals, and most of us got a very nice lunch now. 973 million in this world. Mark my words, 1/6 of the world's population suffer from a disease called NIDS. Have you heard of that? NIDS. Have you heard of that? No, you all heard of AIDS, right? Only 30 million, 33 million suffer from AIDS. That little 33 million provokes so much of sympathy in you, but these 973 million NIDS people don't. Do you know why? You don't know such a thing exists. That's called nutritional immune deficiency syndrome. Our India, my country, our minister's country, we have 67 million children suffering from NIDS on a given day. And they die at a rate of 6,000 per day. It doesn't move our conscience at all. If you get your immune system depressed, even a cold can kill you. Just like an AIDS patient. You get a pneumonia, you're off. A child with the NIDS gets diarrhea, child meets his maker precautiously. Now this is our future, and for which the government in its wisdom in the last 10 years did what is called ICDS, Integrated Child Development Scheme. They spent 1,200 crores a year for 10 years from 1997 to 2007. And when they looked at it now, audit, in 1997, the incidence of malnutrition in children in India was 47%. In 2007, it is 46.4%. Why? Because after the child is born, the immune system is all formed. And even if you feed it at both ends, the child's future is not going to change very much. You require to look after the mother. Remember that, that's where the woman comes in. When the whole child is made, in the first 3 months of pregnancy, remember that. The first 3 months of pregnancy, your heart is made, your pancreas is made, your brain is made, your liver is made, your whole body is made. And if the mother at that stage doesn't have proper food, which most of our poor people all over the world do not, the child is formed very defective, a small child, a small pancreas. Even if this child survives, by the age of 30, if it eats good food, it becomes a diabetic. Small heart, it gets a heart attack at the age of 40. Narrow blood vessels, hypertension at the age of 30. See? And this child, even if you give 100% reservation to go to school, it doesn't have that part of the brain which is needed for studying called hippocampus major, which is also made in the first 12 weeks of pregnancy. So the child cannot pass primary school, even if you give free education, free food, do anything you like. So our aim must be not just to give midday meal for poor children, midday meal for every pregnant poor lady in India. When I wrote about this 2 years ago, it got published in so many outlets. Nobody responded except 2 chief ministers of 2 states. I won't tell you who they are. These 2 people invited me and said, what are you talking about? And they have now started some schemes for looking after pregnant women. I like Peter's idea of Women's Congress. I always used to tell my students, if I educate a man, I have educated one human being. If I educate a woman, I have educated a whole generation.